Texas Governor Greg Abbott talked with local officials around the state about an hour ago. He has issued a state disaster declaration for 54 Texas counties. The governor has also requested and received federal disaster declarations for 18 counties, and he plans to send another 1,000 National Guard troops to Houston today. Governor Abbott is with us from Houston. Governor, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Does Houston have what it needs?
Well, listen, this is an enormous challenge, and we are making sure that we continue to provide Houston all that it needs, as well as FEMA is assisting tremendously. I want you to know that today we are delivering another 150 boats, as well as 300 high water vehicles to assist in the rescue program, understanding that our first and foremost priority right now is to ensure that we continue to save every life we can. Secondarily, of course, you were talking about the evacuees. We are providing more resources for evacuees, as well as the city of Dallas is opening up an evacuee center that will be able to house 5,000 evacuees. San Antonio will be hosting more evacuees. We will actually have airlift operations out of Galveston today to begin to remove some of the evacuees to other locations to make sure that they will all be accommodated in ways they need for this temporary basis.
Governor, I have to ask you, because I spent some time with some of the rescuees last night who arrived on dump trucks. They didn't have shoes on. They were soaking wet, some with pets, with babies with them, and they were really scared. The mayor of Houston, as you know, is defending his decision not to call for a mandatory evacuation of the 6.5 million residents. Do you still think that was a wise idea?
Listen, the time for making that determination has passed. It's no need for us to relitigate that issue right now. What we have to focus on again is making sure that we continue this evacuation process, get people out of harm's way, get them relocated, and then begin the rebuilding process.
I want to bring in Gayle King, my colleague, who is in New York. Gayle?
All right. Thanks, Norah. Governor, the president has said he will be traveling to Texas as soon as the trip can be made without causing disruption in the wake of this hurricane. Right now, he's scheduled to come tomorrow. Is that the best time for him to come?
The place he will be going to will not be Houston, so it will not be getting into harm's way or interrupting the evacuations or the emergency response in the Houston area. He most likely will be going closer to where the hurricane hit land, and that's where I will be going today to meet with the FEMA Administrator Brock Long. We will be surveying the Corpus Christi area, as well as areas like Rockport that were hardest hit by the hurricane. These are areas where we have already begun the cleanup process. But it just goes to show the magnitude of the storm, where the focus for the past few days has been the torrential rain in Houston. People have already forgotten the horrific way that the Corpus Christi area got hit by this hurricane just a few days ago.
Governor, I imagine you've spoken to the president a number of times. Are you satisfied with his engagement and his response thus far?
The engagement and response by the president, the White House, by his cabinet, and by FEMA have been actually remarkable. We began working with them a week or two in advance of this, and I've been in constant contact with either the White House or FEMA on a daily basis. And they've provided Texas everything that we need. Whenever Texas asked for anything, the answer was yes. And so we've been very pleased with their collaborative response. But also, as Brock Long, the FEMA administrator, has made abundantly clear publicly as well as to me, this is just the beginning of what will be a very long process. People can remember the long time it took for people to recover from Katrina. Listen, this area in Houston, Texas, that was subject to this flooding is going to take a very long time for us to be able to overcome.
Governor, the Houston Police Chief Acevedo said, listen, this scene breaks your heart, but it's Texas and we will get through it.
Exactly, and one thing he was talking about that you all were talking about earlier, and that is not only the way that first responders were able to help out, but you've seen countless stories about the way our fellow Texans have come together, bringing out their own boats, helping to rescue their fellow Texans. This is typical Texans helping each other. We rally behind each other at times like this, and I could not be more proud of my fellow Texans about the way they have helped their neighbors respond to this challenge.
Governor, the images are so gut-wrenching. What do you tell ordinary Americans and really people around the world who want to help? What should they do and what should they not do in terms of donations and giving and so forth?
Well, for the best way to make sure that we can coordinate donations to a single source and get it to the emergency needs that are most dire right now would be through the Red Cross. And people can go online to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. And that perhaps is one of the best ways that people can help out. I know there's so many people who want to help out. And there's so many needs that we need to have addressed. These people going to the shelters, as you pointed out, they need cots, they need blankets, they need towels, things like that. I want you to know also that we are benefiting from grocery stores like H-E-B and Walmart that are providing critical food that are needed by these evacuees.
All right, Governor, thank you very much for joining us this morning.